What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the weird winger situation at the club, because Chiesa could end up staying just by default. And even if he leaves, the club is, well, told him you need to leave. They sold Sule, but the interesting news is that according to Alfredo Pedula, the winger situation is absolutely not a priority for the club. Actually, they have been in talks with a good four players, him, Galeno, Adeyemi, Pepe, and Consensao, Sancho as well, five, but let's say 4 to 5. They've all been in contact with these players, maybe personal terms agreed. However, for the club, the situation is now not really, which is very confusing because you sold Sule, and I know Sule was not on the team last season. However, the winger situation and just the attack last season was not good enough. The output was not good enough, the impact was not good enough, and you were all assuming we're gonna change it up, we're gonna mix it up, maybe keep Sule. However, according to Padula, the club is like, nah, and the situation with Chiesa is like, who knows? Let's wait and see. He said no to Besiktas apparently. He said no to a Saudi club. His agent is in London to talk with Chelsea and Tottenham apparently, but the news is there's no offer. There's actually no real offer on the way as well right now. So everybody is taking their time. Not just Chiesa. Well, actually, Chiesa has no choice right now because it's staying at Juve, basically. But they told you can leave. It's accepting a Saudi bid or the Besiktas bid, I think it is, or hopefully for him then Chelsea or Tottenham make an offer. And again, then you need to look at Tottenham. He wants Champions League football. Tottenham are not Champions League football. They are not striking me as a team that are gonna be there. I like the coach, I like the idea they have, but they don't have the squad to compete with the other teams. So it's a very weird situation. And like I said earlier on, he could end up staying just by default, just because there's no time. The offer is not good enough. He doesn't find an offer good enough, or the club's like, yeah, you can leave, but like for 50 million or something, we're not going to do that. So that situation is very strange. And pairing that with the fact that the club's like, yeah, let's wait and see, is also very confusing because Chiesa could end up leaving, let's say, mid-August, and then you need to go to a team like Porto or maybe Dortmund, and they will look at you. And even though apparently Porto need money and are open to sell players, whatever, in Adeyemi's case, but just in general, they can be like, hey, it's mid-August. Yeah, you can have that player, but if it was 30, it's 36 right now because we probably are going to need to overspend as well to get the replacement in from another team who also will charge us more money because it's the end of the August and mid-August, and they also need to find a replacement and so on, So it's a weird situation because he's back in training, and unlike a Huijsen or other players, he's part of the squad because the club knows again what the situation is. A bid can come in at any given time, but then it also depends on Chiesa willing to accept that bid. That's one, and two, you cannot really bridge that gap completely because unlike McKennie, even if McKennie ends up saying you're stacked, quote unquote, numbers wise in midfield, so you're like, whatever, you're not going to be part of it. We're not going to play you anyway because we have enough players. With Chiesa, it's not that case. So the club cannot really burn that bridge completely down because if he ends up staying, you need to go back to to Chiesa and say, hey, please be the main guy because you didn't really leave, so we didn't bought anyone. Now it's up to you again. Show us why we were wrong in not believing in you, basically. So the situation is not really tense. I think it's more relaxed, but it's worrying in the background. In the background for Giuntoli, it's kind of worrying because you told Chiesa basically leave, and now you're here entering August with the idea of we have no idea what's going to happen. That's basically the idea. We don't know what's going to happen with Chiesa. And we can link all the news again. Conceição, Galeno, and Pepe, and Adeyemi, and Jadon Sancho, and whoever I forgot mentioning, Berardi, and like just throw in all the links, for the winger's position. Right now, like Alfredo Petula is saying, it's like, let's get Todibo over the line. Let's get quote miners over the line, and then we'll kind of figure it out. Maybe in the meantime, Chiesa received an offer where he's like, yeah, I'll do that. I'll take that on. I'll take that project on. And Giuntoli is like, okay, now I can turn those initial talks with an Adeyemi or whatever into something real concrete and go to Dortmund or Porto and get those deals done potentially. But right now, it's just a waiting game. However, it has a different feel to it because the club is like, yeah, welcome back in training, Chiesa. Like nothing really happened. I think Chiesa's professional enough to know what the situation is. That's why his agent is in England as well, or in London. England, but in London, to see if any club out there is willing to make any sort of offer for Chiesa. But it is a weird situation. It is a weird situation, especially knowing that if Chiesa leaves, you need to go ASAP for a replacement, because if he leaves mid-August, the season is kicking off. You cannot tell Motta figure it out for the first 3 games basically until the transfer market closes, because we play Roma on the 1st of September. So basically play 3 games without getting a replacement in for Chiesa if he leaves mid-August. That's also not fair towards Thiago Motta as well, and for all the praise I gave Giuntoli for making things clear, even if I don't like certain decisions, it's still very clear. It is clear that these 10 players have been told, you're on the market, you probably need to leave, get deals done early, set out your main targets. Even if Calafiori was one, the price went up and Motta said, I'd rather have quote miners, switch it up and go for the Todibo. Like, I like all those moves, I like that they're prepared rather more than I like that player or I dislike that player. It's more of, okay, they look prepared. However, right now, from the outside, it looked prepared on paper, but not really prepared on how are we actually going to get these deals over the line. That being said, according to the same media, Giuntoli is extremely calm and composed, and he's like, yeah, I'll get Todibo done. Then I'll go to Atalanta for quote miners. In the meantime, let's see if Chiesa leaves, and all the talks I had with Conceição and Adeyemi, we will sit together, we will pick one, and we will push on for him and get him over the line as well. That's how they are viewing it. But obviously from the outside, we play football in about 3 weeks. Time is ticking, and the squad is incomplete. It's incomplete. It is incomplete. Especially the starting 11 is incomplete for a Thiago Motta or any coach right now. Interesting time, but the Chiesa one, it can go really quickly or it can take ages. I don't think there's something in between, with the Chiesa one, because I think even clubs looking at him are like, yeah, you told him to leave, so we can come in very late and still snatch him from you because you told him to leave. So let's see. It's a dangerous game, but that's the game they're playing right now. I know a lot of people want Chiesa to stay still and hope that he stays, sign a short-term deal, whatever. I don't think it's ideal. I don't think it's the best move for any party right now. I think it's time to move on. Once you made that decision as a club, I don't think you can go back from that. But I wouldn't be shocked if he's still here at the end of August or the 1st of September. I wouldn't be surprised at this moment in time. But let me know in the comments what you think, if you believe he can stay, if he can stay on. And also, what is your preferred option to replace a Chiesa / Sule, depending on the left, on the right? That's up to you. Let me know in the comments. Like the video, subscribe, and I will speak to you guys later tonight. Ciao.